Hey everybody, this is Julian Lytle and welcome to another episode of Ignorant Bliss. This episode is with Shawn, Pryor, and Martheus. I recorded this with them the same weekend Power Rangers came out. I meant to put this episode out a long time ago, but I got sick. A lot of other things happened, mostly health issues. Delayed me on getting episodes done, but I'm still putting this out because, I think we have good Power Rangers conversations. And soon enough, this ain't gonna be a home video. We about in the half life mode before that joint probably comes out in like June or July. And you can watch a video on demand or Blu-ray or whatever. The conversation is mostly about Power Rangers, then it delves into like some others talk toward the end. Now here we go. You can follow me personally on social media at Julian Lytle, JulianLytle. I've also recently made a Twitter account specifically for Ignorant Bliss. It's at IGBL Podcast. Just let me double check. Yep. And Ignorant Bliss Podcast on Facebook. Do me a favor if you can. Share this. Or leave a review. The show is also up on SoundCloud, Stitcher, Mixcloud, Blog Talk Radio. It is part of the Critical network of shows on Blog Talk Radio, a network that is about what's critical. That's funny, but film critique network, essentially critiquing pop culture mostly focused on film. I'm part of that, and it's also part of the Taylor network of podcasts. So you can listen to it a multitude of ways. Reach out if you can. Share if you can. You can find Shawn at Shawn R. Pryor. Crown Taker Studios is his publishing company. He's also recently returned back to Action Lab in a very important role. Martheus Wade, you can find him on Twitter. Martheus AW. He's on Instagram. I'm looking for his comic Shinobi Ninja Princess. And I hope you enjoy the episode. I'm going to try to put out a lot of these episodes I have saved up that I've been holding on since I got defeated. So stay tuned.
We got the power to be loving each other no matter what happens. We got the power to do that.
On a le pouvoir de s'aimer, okay?
We got the power to be ringing the great bell out there above us. We got the power for that. We got the power to do that.
And we dream of home, I dream of life out of here. The dreams are small, my dreams don't know fear. I got my heart full of hope, I will change everything. No matter what I'm told, how impossible it seems. We did it before and we'll do it again. We're indestructible, even when we're tired. And we've been here before, just you and I. Don't try to rescue me, I don't need to be rescued.
We got the power to be loving each other no matter what happens. We got the power to do that.
On a le pouvoir de s'aimer, okay?
We got the power to be ringing the great bell out there above us.
Yeah, we've been here
We got the power for
since
that.
Friday, so that they just
We
wake
got
up
the
for
power to
breakfast,
do that.
and then after that, but after breakfast, we had to take them to the store so they can get some stuff. This has been nonstop this morning. Like I was able to see Power Rangers last night, so like I'm good.
Can y'all
So,
hear me? Yeah, we've been hearing you, man. You've been talking to the fam.
Do I sound okay? Do I sound like I'm coming out like a bad radio?
Oh, you sounding good, man.
No, you good.
All right, good.
Tell the family I won't
here.
keep you too long, you know. We'll get to
Oh,
that
I ain't
family
doing
time.
nothing. I'm sitting here with Anakin playing the Power Rangers game on
Which one,
the
that Legacy
PS4.
joint? Oh, wait.
No, the PS4 one.
What,
The-
that new side-scrolling joint?
Yeah, the Double Dragon one.
Yeah. I almost bought that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look
Yeah,
at
it's all right. It's okay, man. It's Double Dragon. You know what I'm saying? It's straight up Double Dragon, which is cool because I got Double Dragon too. Because Double Dragon is free.
Oh, it is now?
Yeah, it was a free download. I don't know if it was just because of my PS Plus membership or whatnot, but oh shoot, you dead? Dang, I'm dead too. Dang, man, they get killed quick on here though, man.
They need to make a 6-player joint like on that old X-Men game. Go
Hey,
online in beast mode.
Yeah, for real. You know they can. You can. If you have 6 controllers or 4 controllers, you can play at least up to 4 people here.
Oh, okay.
On here, yeah. So it'd be cool if they could do this online. That'd be awesome because it ain't nothing but a side-scrolling Double Dragon game, and then you power up and you get other moves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, I saw folks complaining about the game, but it is what it is, man. It's like those old, you know, these are the people that I saw complaining were like young cats too. You know what I mean? They have never played like a side-scrolling, you know, Final Fight, Double Dragon type of game like that. You know what I'm saying? So they were kind of like, why don't it have this, that, and the other? It's like, it ain't built for that, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, I used like the old Super Nintendo joint.
Yeah.
The Super Nintendo joint was dope. You play as a human and you do the little move, you power up in the Power Ranger.
Yeah, yeah.
That joint was good. Like, that was a good little fight, little beat 'em up.
See, on this, they just got the downloadable content where you can play as the White Ranger or Aisha or you know,
Adam
the new
and Rocky,
cast, Adam and Rocky, you know, as well. So you don't have to play as, you know, Jason and Zach or the Green Ranger.
Now, and which game is this again? Which Power Rangers game is this?
This is Power Rangers Mega Battle.
Okay.
PS4. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It just came out. It's only like $14. It's not even that much. Man.
Okay.
But it's like cartoony looking. It looks just like Double Dragon. You know how Double Dragon used to look?
Yeah.
It looks like that, but like with updated graphics and stuff. Like Tommy got the mullet, and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, guys, what did you guys think of the movie, man? I was sitting there, I was like, yo, I gotta hear like Shawn's thoughts and Martheus' thoughts, especially that first 5 minutes. It was looking kind of rough. I was like, somebody shot at me, was like, this look almost like that little Power / Rangers for a second.
Dude,
like,
yeah, man. Even down to the way it was shot. You know what I mean? With the fading in and fading out, you didn't know what was going on, and you know it was like really what was it, like tinted? It was like blue tinted. You know, and things were blowing up. I mean, that at first I was like, at first when they started playing it, I was like, are they they're gonna play this first before the movie? You know what I mean? And I was like, that's not good, you know. And then we started watching. I was like, oh, okay. I once they got into what it was, all right. Well, first of all, you know, just as a general blanket, did I enjoy the movie? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. You know what I'm saying? It's a good movie. I mean, it's a movie where it's like, you know, it's got problems in it. You know what I mean? And it's got its moments where I'm just like, dude, man, why can't y'all? I'm still like, man, why can't y'all just wear the mask, man? Just put the mask. Stop putting the visors up to talk. Y'all got microphones. You don't need them visors to talk, man. You know. And you need. Yeah, you know. And sometimes you can tell the difference between the CGI and the actual. You know when you know. They have two different versions. It's like the CGI when the CGI goes up, and you can see their face, and then they mold the mask around their face, and then you have the actual mask that's open. You know what I'm saying? it's two different ones, man, and sometimes you could see the difference. It looked kind of weird, especially when they were in the cockpit. I mostly noticed it on Zach, you know what I'm saying, on the Black Ranger. It's like it was, it was kind of like dodgy around his face, you know what I'm saying? It made his face look kind of too hugged a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it could have been fixed just by keeping the thing down, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, overall, I mean, the movie is what it is. It's a movie, man. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, it was a decent of a movie, you know what I'm saying? And I had fun with it. I got the jokes and stuff like that. But I mean, I will say this is that I don't see, and I told Janet this when I got home. It's like I don't see why this couldn't have been, instead of being a straight up reboot with the same characters. We talked about this before, right? Where it's like it's a reboot, but it's a reboot, a complete fresh retelling of the Power Rangers beginning, right? I don't see why it had to actually be that. It could have been to where these dudes are just new inheritors of the Mighty Morphin power, and it wouldn't have taken away from anything in this movie, really. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you still have your cameos from past Rangers. You still have your bit of character development that they want to get. You know what I mean? Even if they wanted to, acknowledge that Zordon was a past Ranger. Oh, spoilers. Zordon was a past Ranger. They could have done that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I still don't see why it was a reboot like that with the names and stuff like that, unless it was just what it was for, which was just the nostalgia value of it. You know what I'm saying? Because the story itself was just so completely new, and the Rangers look so different that, I mean, you could have done anything with that story, really. You know what I'm saying? You could have been anywhere with that story. You kind of see what I'm saying? Yeah. So
not too off. What about you, Shawn?
Saw it last night, and when it first started, just like Julian, when it first started, was it the Cenozoic era or whatever?
Yeah,
and I got this. I kind of got the same vibe that Martheus had with the whole. Yeah, this is like the way it's set up. The tone is very akin to the Power/Rangers bootleg or whatever, and I was just like, huh. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so this is what we. No, I was like, well, is this what we doing? And then the whole thing is like, we're going to spoil this for y'all. Like, the whole thing with Rita being a Ranger that used to be with Zordon and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that's a quick way to incorporate the story to, instead of, trying to take the long way around the street, a long way to go across the street to say this is why Rita is a villain.
Right.
Okay. Incorporate her in the power, as a Power Ranger that betrayed everybody. Okay, fine, whatever. The whole use of the Zeo Crystal thing, I'm like, okay, that's cool, whatever. But, that setup and then cut to, when they cut to Jason, trying to pull that prank on that rival high school, and the accident part after that, and after that accident happens, it's just in the bottom right corner, it just says Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What? This is how y'all doing this?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was like at first, and I was like, oh, so this is what it's going to be. We're going to try to be as subdued as possible, but then it became a movie of I'm like, what does this movie want to be? Because sometimes I'm like, okay, it's like, it could be sometimes it's an action comedy. Sometimes it's in the vein of It Follows. Sometimes it's in the vein of this. Sometimes it's in the vein of that. And I'm just like, what is it that you want to be? Because a lot of when I was watching the movie, there were really good things about it. Like the best for me, the best thing about the movie was Billy.
Yeah.
Because really the whole thing centers around Billy. Because Billy is the heart of the team.
And he finds the powers. He's there from the beginning. He's the one that pulls everybody together.
Right. And not only that though, but he actually, out of almost all the characters, out of all the Rangers, he has the most well written and developed story out of almost any of them. Like Jason has a decently written story about the kid who just threw everything away, and he just keeps throwing things away, and he learns, hey, okay, maybe I shouldn't throw things away this time. Maybe I shouldn't just take stupid risks for no reason. You know what I mean? And things like that. Like but that wasn't. It could have been done better. That could have been done better. But like with Zach's character, like I don't really think writing wise they hit his character up until they got into that truth telling time.
Right.
Before that, it's just like, oh, this dude's just buck wild. Yeah, I know his mom's sick, but this dude's just buck wild. And I'm like, why is he buck wild? You know what I mean? And then when they explain it, like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it, but like, it still doesn't mesh well. It still doesn't mesh well with his behaviors before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and with the I think they did Trini decent. But, like, once again, you got, like, these 5 characters that are really trying to shoehorn all these stories in together. And you're watching a movie that is literally trying to tell a story but really push the fact that there's going to be another one. So, by the time you get to the third act, everything is, like, literally shoved in there in the third act. So when you're dealing with the whole Rita thing, I thought Elizabeth Banks for the material that she got, I thought she did fine. I thought she did fine for the material that she got. But at the same time, they didn't give her much.
Right.
They didn't give her much. Although I will say, I laughed my ass off when she was like, when they said the Krispy Kreme was the source.
Yeah. She was like, it must be life.
Yeah.
She's like, what is this Krispy Kreme?
Like, that shit cracked me up. But no, fam, when she was in the Krispy Kreme, and, like, Destiny's Child Survivor was playing, and she slowly pulled that plate of donuts and sat down and was starting to eat them as Goldar was destroying shit, I lost it. That shit was funny. It was funny.
It was funny. They had some genuinely funny moments in this, man. I mean, I will say that. I mean, most of them was centered around Billy. Because he had the most, he was the dude who had the most the most enduring part of it. Like you said, he was a dude who was the heart. I mean, even when Black Ranger and the Red Ranger fighting and stuff, he was the one that pulled everybody. Like, nah, y'all can't be doing this. That's cool.
Yeah.
So.
And I thought they did a good job. Well, as far as getting to the point where they're just like, look, they're all not going to be friends from the jump, and they're all not going to be a team from the jump. So let's get that build up going to where they finally learn how to bring it all together. I was like, and that's fine, because the thing is, they're really trying to tell a lot and do a lot in 2 hours. Yeah. And to be honest with you, this movie didn't need to be 2 hours either.
100 minutes. That movie needed to be 100 minutes.
Yes. And so like, that's kind of a problem that I think Hollywood is having right now with these, like, all these 2 hour, 30-minute movies. I'm like, yo, sometimes a movie need to be just $1.30 and be a wrap. You know what I mean? It's a wrap. Like, just get in, get out. And it doesn't mean that, like, you make the storytelling suffer because of it. It's just that not every movie needs to be 2 hours. And like I said, and the third act is kind of rushed, but see, the thing is, you're hoping that payoff by the time you get to the moment where they actually morph. And, like, and the thing is, like, I'm not even comparing it to, like, all the stuff we've watched for over 20 plus years, because it's its own movie, it's its own thing. This is the way they want to do things, and that's fine. Right. But, like, you finally get that payoff of them morphing and then walking through. And by the way, what was up with that generic Tron Legacy music?
Are you talking about when they were walking?
Yes. They started using that generic Tron Legacy. I love Tron Legacy. That's one of my favorite movies ever. But, like, when I started hearing that, I was like, yo, this is, like, very Tron Legacy-ish, soundtrack wise.
Yeah. What I was thinking was that, like, almost, it's not exactly after that, but right into that, they had the Go-Go Power Rangers, actual, I was like, dude, that would have been awesome if you would have had that, at least a part in there where they were like, people don't know that there's a couple different parts to that Go-Go Power Rangers part. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not just all Go-Go Power Rangers. There's a part in there where it is it says they got this power and the force and their FT, so blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? If there's a couple different parts. Shut up. See, that's what I'm saying, man. See, can't be always in my business, man. I could sing the part if I wanted to. I just didn't want to. Anyway, man.
Like you
they got
goddamn.
Hey, for real, man. Dude, just always gotta be on. But okay, so, but yeah, man, they just take one of those parts and put it in there. You know what I mean? Especially that they have that one part, that one song that they used to always play when they were getting ready to fight. I think it was called Combat. It was like heavy guitar riffs and stuff like that. Even a remix of that when they walking out would have been like, oh, that's fresh. I mean, because right after that, almost after that, when they jump into the Zords, you go straight into Go-Go Power Rangers. I mean, not even like a remix. I'm talking about just straight 90s Go-Go Power Rangers with guitar riff and stuff like that. So I mean, just to be able to ease into that moment with those little beats would have been cool, you know.
Because the thing is, like, I was good with that Tron Legacy style music. I was good with it, but at the same time, it just reminded me so much of Tron Legacy. I was just like, couldn't we have just changed this just a little bit? You know what I mean? Because that morph sequence was cool.
Yeah.
You know, that morph sequence was real cool. But yeah, man. But like I said, like the Goldar thing, I think to me was a waste. And see, that's the whole other thing too. It's just like, you know, like I said, this is their take. This is their take. This is Dean Israelite's take, and the screenwriter's take.
It can still be bad. Just because it's their take don't mean it don't suck. Because I don't understand why Rita was evil. Why did she want to find a Zeo Crystal? Why she betrayed the original Power Rangers? Why did she hate Zordon? Who she was working for? Why she didn't use the green power coin?
Right.
Why is Goldar made out of gold?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I was it's a case of the two things. One, they're counting the writers are counting on everybody that's going to this movie being some kind of Power Ranger aficionado or know at least enough about it to know of the next bad guys that are coming, right? So when she at the end goes, you know, you just painted a sharper, you know, thing on your back, you know what I'm saying? Because there's other folks that's gonna be coming for the Zeo Crystal and all that kind of stuff. You know, you kind of can figure that's Lord Zed, right? And you can kind of think that, you know, okay, so she was working for Lord Zed, but at the same time, for the people that come in, you know, and they, you know, that's one of the things I was saying that, look, you have to be able to, I want to be able to figure out on my own without having to know anything else about any kind of the rest of the universe from anything else. I want to know on my own and have a solid foundation about what's going on, right? So, like, it's that, and then it's also this whole thing about everybody has to have a world building thing immediately in the first first movie. So they are leaving everything up to the second movie, and it's the problem that you run into with The Force Awakens. There are so many questions in The Force Awakens that need to be answered that they just do not answer, right? And the reason why they don't answer them because they're waiting for the second movie to answer them. You know, they set them up in the first movie, and it's a lot of questions, and they set all those questions up in the first movie, but they wait to the second movie to answer them and hope that you just stick along. Well, and that's kind of one of the things here too.
Now, see, that's okay, and this is the thing that maybe we should talk about real quick because some people get it twisted and they think that there's a difference between setting something up, and there's a difference between leaving a mystery out there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think with this Power Rangers movie, a lot of it is this is all set up for the next. You know what I mean? This is all set up for the next. And there's a difference between leaving a mystery as opposed to purposely like, you know, setting up something else to on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. Because the thing is, like, this could be this could be akin to when Michael Bay produced, you know, those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. Yeah, the first one isn't good.
It's terrible.
You know, like there's like one or two funny moments, but it's not good. However, the second one is way better. The second one is actually very good, but no one cared. But no one cared, you know, because I really think people just got fed up, and after that first one, even though it made a gang of money, folks just like, I don't care, fam. And the second one,
even though that Wiz Khalifa Juicy Dre joint was 10 times better than that joint they had at the beginning of that second movie, though. That second movie sucked. I was like, what is going on? Y'all whole budget went straight to the movie and not to the soundtrack, because whatever y'all did on this second movie, it sucks.
You know, but the second movie though, the second Turtle movie is a lot better movie, but at the same time there was no like, you know, really gauge like audience wise to be like, yeah man, we're ready for this, we want this. Instead it was you know, because I think that first movie just put a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. And that's the thing that they're going to have to look out for when they make the second one. But the thing is, for them, they're like, no, people will come see the second movie because we bring in the Green Ranger in, you know. And I'm like, y'all don't know that, you know what I mean? Like, y'all don't know that. Yeah, you got a big ass fan base, but I'm like, you don't know that because folks just expected people to just go see Second Turtles because it was Second Turtles, and then they Bebop and Rocksteady, and they brought in Casey Jones, and they brought in like all this stuff, and they actually and Krang, and they actually had a decent story. Folks is like, fam, we ain't feeling this right now. You know, we ain't for this. So, you know, so like I said, there's like the difference of knowing, you know, and like setting up a movie, making a movie just to set up a next movie, and making a movie and leaving mysteries out there. You know what I mean? Like there's a really big difference between the two. And but like, you know, like I said, there's some good things in here. Like I don't not like the movie. Like I don't think it's good. I don't think it's bad. Like it's decent. And I'm just like, it's decent. It's decent. That's just really how I feel about it. It's decent. Because the thing is, I just see like there are moments where I just see wasted potential.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know, well, I
see wasted potential.
I think that the movie is more of a like I said, I liked it. I mean, I put it this way, I liked it more than I like Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it felt like it was a little bit more. There was more there for me to actually be able to sink my teeth into. You know what I'm saying? With a Marvel movie, it seems like it's paint by numbers, especially at this point. It didn't feel like that at the beginning, but it kind of does now. And this didn't seem too much like that. Plus, at the same time, I'm always in my head comparing and contrasting. So I'm just kind of like, you know, I as much as I try not to do it as far as like the source material, I do it anyway. But okay. So here's some things. Here are some things that I noticed. Okay, so I look at a lot of Power Ranger stuff that are even unofficial things. You know what I'm saying? So like the unofficial bootleg deal that they were talking about that they did or whatnot. I was looking at that as well. But there are also other Power Ranger short films and such out there. Like you remember those fan films and stuff like that. You remember that Kickstarter joint that was done by fans or something like that, and
that never happened.
It never happened. It never happened, right? But they did have teasers out there, and they had a lot of stuff with Zordon and all that kind of stuff. They had some stuff in there with Lord Zed and where he was and all that kind of stuff, and because the whole thing was supposed to be taking place after Mighty Morphin. The more and more I kept thinking about it, the more and more I started to realize that the writers of this did not write this in a bubble. And the reason why is because a lot of those beats, a lot of the things, these beats and stuff, Zordon being a former Ranger, Rita and Zordon having some type of, not like relationship, but them knowing each other ahead of time. The Zeo crystals, how the Zeo crystals and how they work with the morphing grid and how they are around everybody, you know, on other planets and things like that. You know, even like how things were set up and shot, like when Rita was in the alleyway and that she saw that dude's teeth, which, okay, I will say, I took Anakin, right? And that freaked him out. That was the first, he actually yelled in the movie theater because Rita was kind of scary at sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, that right there.
Jumped on dude and took it.
Took his teeth out. Yeah, took his teeth out for that goal, man.
And once again, I understand the film was PG-13, but once again, what does this movie want to be?
Does it need to be PG-13? I had friends who watched it, like, who were like movie critics, who like for family, you know, bloggers, for parents groups, and their like question was, why is Power Rangers PG-13? And I was like, I really can't give you an honest answer on why, because I don't know why this movie's PG-13. Like,
right,
it's Power Rangers.
Right.
It's gonna come on Saturday. Like, same time, it really don't even need to be PG. It could kind of get. The only reason it's PG because it got somebody getting kicked in the face or something. But
right.
I don't even like. That was like, I was like, does Rita really need to do that? Like, like, does she need to be violent? Like, can't she just be like an evil, like a villain from a Disney princess movie? Because that's kind of what she is. She's an evil witch.
I didn't mind the violence. Now, did it take me aback a little bit? Yeah, because I wasn't expecting it, you know. But at the same time, I didn't too much mind it. But they didn't write that type stuff in a bubble, man, because that same scene was I don't want to say shot for shot, but it looked exactly like the teaser, the Lord Zed teaser from the Kickstarter that was done years ago. Now, you remember that stuff just kind of disappeared.
No, it disappeared because they got hit with that cease and desist.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That stuff disappeared like that. Now they also had it's still on YouTube. It was a short series called Zordon of Eltar, and it is about Zordon and what he did before he met the Rangers, all the way up until he met the actual Rangers, who, in that series, they all met in detention. Every last one of them met in detention. Man, they did not write this stuff in a bubble, man. They got influences from these things. You know what I'm saying? And when I was sitting there looking at it, I was like, this is what we got is a PG-13 amalgamation of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the unauthorized Power Rangers reboot fan film, the other fan film from Kickstarter that they hit with a cease and desist, and this Zordon at Eltar. It's like if you take all four of those things and you put them together, then this is what you get. You know what I'm saying?
No, you also got to understand that, like, this also was not the original script. Oh boy, what's that dude's name? The dude that wrote Chronicle.
Oh yeah, Trank.
Not Trank. Trank didn't write Chronicle.
You talking about
Max Landis?
Max Landis. Max Landis did a draft, did a screenplay for Power Rangers, and I guess he complained. He complained publicly because he said they basically took his version of the film, his script, threw it away, and basically did like their take on Chronicle. And I'm just like, yo, Max, you really ain't making money at the box office though.
That's true, but he got some points because, like, at a certain point when I watched the movie, I was like, so this is the Breakfast Club who falls into Chronicle. Yeah. And it's wrapped up in the Power Rangers wrapper. Like, there's words, but
we got that from the trailer, though.
Yeah.
I knew that going into the trailer.
But it's like when they wake up and they're, like, breaking stuff, and then they got to, like, come back together. It's like, dude, like, we got these things. We got to figure it out. and they find it like in a cave. I'm like, yo, that's low key Chronicle. It's like it's not even you ain't even trying to hide how you look at it. Like it looks kind of like it. So to me, and I was like, to me the detention stuff was all Breakfast Club. It's like so Kim is Molly Ringwald a little bit. Jason is almost exactly Emilio Estevez's character from Breakfast Club. Yeah, and Billy is Anthony Michael Hall's character. Yeah, and it was cool because you brought in like this fearless Asian dude, which I think y'all hopefully people give some shout out. They always asking for Asian American superheroes, and like you got this dude extra go hard, jumping off like cliffs on the moving trains and cars and shit. Like I don't care, man. I could be anybody right now. Like I'm the man, dog. Like, and then you got. I also made a note. Like her name isn't Trini, it's Trini. Because it's like because she's she's grown up in a Latin household, so it's like it's similar spelling, but it's pronounced differently. And that was kind of interesting because it seems like she is like the overbearing mother, and she really doesn't know what she is yet in terms of her personal life and what she likes and how she wants to be. Like I thought that was cool. Right. To be quite honest, the play at the end. I'm sorry, man, but on the play at the end when her brothers go, I like the she goes, he goes, what about the Yellow Ranger to her brothers, and her brothers go, yeah, he was cool, and she was like, how you know it was a he? And she was like, and they would look at her like confused, like, man, the Yellow Ranger is a he, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of playing off of the Super Sentai being a dude. That was a boy and a girl. I was like, I see what y'all doing. There was little things like that. It's like, ha. I get it. People gonna pick up on that. Like we ain't gonna pick up on the fact that like, the Yellow Ranger actually historically in that time frame is like, what exactly is a Yellow Ranger? Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Yeah. Who knows? Depending on the footage. Exactly. Depending on the footage. Yeah, Lord. But it was. I want to see. I kind of wanted to see more just of the kids out there being Power Rangers. I ain't like the morphing thing though. I didn't like that. And some people don't agree with me. I'm like, I just wanted a device. Like, why can't they change? Well, see, here's the thing. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too, man. It's just kind of like Iron Man hits a button and then he's Iron Man. Like, so don't tell me that people can't accept a person hitting a button and then like a whole bunch of suit shit come on them. Well, here's the thing too. It's just that if you don't do that, then the finding the coins, then that has no bearing. Like why you could just be like, hey, I woke up with these powers today. You see what I'm saying? Like finding the actual coins don't really have any kind of precedent because they lose their precedent at the end. Because they don't really need them after that, right? After they get to the command center and they do their command center duties and stuff, you know what I'm saying, and they're down there with Alpha and all that kind of stuff, you don't really need the coins anymore. Like they don't even bring them out, right? You don't talk about them after a while, so that's what I'm like, what are the coins for? Like, yeah, they were just keys to get into the establishment, and after that, it's like you don't need them because you don't need them to morph because the morphing was already inside of you. Yeah, I just don't. Like, I just think that's separating something from the core of it, of like the idea. Yeah, it's like if they like when they make Captain Marvel, if the little boy doesn't say Shazam, then what's the point? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, like I need the change is a factor. Like, like Ultraman has to do his ill pose, and then he got to go with his crystal, like there's certain things like there's cool concepts, and it's just like people's like that's not really important. It's like it is. Like Batman has to like change it to a suit. Spider-Man has to have his suit underneath his clothes. Superman kind of has to like go somewhere, flip around, and it was like, baby, I'm Superman. Like, there's certain like superheroes have things. They have like core devices. Like Peter Pan has to lose his shadow. They need pixie dust to fly. Hercules has to do 12 labors. There's rules to this shit. Wrote me a manual. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't get it. Or like, go ahead. My bad. No. Oh, well, no, go ahead. Because I'll remember what I got. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that the key that I always go back to is the reason why you need a morpher, right? Is the scene and everybody don't know this, so because they didn't watch it, and I understand that because it's Japanese. But the scene in Gokaiger, where it's one of the first times you talk, Captain Marvelous is on Earth, and he is about to he's learning about the old Sentai groups, right? And he goes to this kid who wants revenge on the main monster of the day, in order to because it killed his, I forgot, I think the monster killed his parents or something like that, or something happened. He wanted revenge, and Captain Marvelous was like, you can't be a ranger just because you think you a ranger. Like you're not strong enough. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like an a-hole, but you just can't do it. And the kid was like, I can do it. You just get, because he stole his morpher. That's what it was.
Yeah, I remember that episode.
And the kid was like, I can do it. I can do exactly what you do. I just need that power, right? And he was like, all right, cool. Here, take the morpher. I'm gonna show you what to do it. Here's the key. You take this key. It's the ninja key. You take this key and you go over there and you take the monster out. I'm not gonna even help you. And he did it. And the kid got whooped with all his powers on and all that kind of stuff. And he took the morpher back and was like, you didn't earn this. You know what I mean? You got to be able to, we trained for this. You can't have things like that, like special reasons for people to be able to have this. You know what I mean? Like little messages like that without having some type of a morpher. You know what I'm saying? Because technically, if the power is always in you like that, then you can't get that type of a message out of it. You see what I'm saying? It's like you can't be able to express the fact that we're special with these powers because we found this coin, the coin called to us. You know what I'm saying? And we're the ones able to use it effectively. You know what I'm saying? It's a weapon like everything else.
It's just, I guess. Go ahead, Shawn. Actually, you had a point.
The one point that I wanted to make, that's something that I thought was done kind of well, is that always, and I think the thing is, this is something that was never really brought about in the actual series. Like I said, I'm not trying to compare series to movie, but it's something that all three of us have talked about. With the Power Rangers story as a whole, that many other forms of Power Rangers media doesn't really get, is that Zordon always has a plan. You may not always know what that plan is, but Zordon always has a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, and G going at the same time. So
yeah.
So in the movie, when he's just like, yeah, man, y'all the Power Rangers, he's like, I need y'all to morph so y'all can get this morphing grid going. When in actuality, he was like, no, look, I need y'all to get this so I can come through.
Right.
So I can come through because I need to handle this.
Right.
But that's the thing. He had an underlying plan, and then he finally realized, he's like, yo, I can't let Billy die. Spoilers. Which was also kind of weird that you get that, but when you see the trailer, it's like this isn't going to happen. You know that Billy isn't going to die because you have shown me in the trailer him morphed as a Power Ranger, and we all know good and well, because the way these movies go nowadays, they're not going to be able to be Power Rangers until Act 3.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of let the cat out of the bag. So I'm sitting there the whole time. I'm just when Billy was quote unquote dead, I'm like, yeah, he gonna be back. I'm like, he's going to be back. He hasn't been a Ranger yet. You know what I mean? So that's a whole other thing for another time. But anyway, the one thing I think they did do that was actually decent is that Zordon always has something going on, whether you know it or not. He always has something going on, and that's something that I think other forms of Rangers media, whether it be in comic books or other forms, you seldom see that. You know what I mean? You seldom
Yeah.
ever see that. So I thought that was good. I was good with that. I was good with that. Yeah.
I thought it was cool. I mean, it added a little bit of a layer of realism to a layer of realism to the Zordon character. You know what I'm saying? Than before. You know what I mean? Because at first, but you did get shades of it, like with the White Ranger thing, where he just didn't tell the Rangers what was going on. Like Billy had to figure out what was going on, and like he could have told him, or the fact that hey man, I got a whole nother right below the command center. I got a whole nother command center that's right below this command center that we just go and chill out at sometime. Or, hey, I got my friend Demetria that's going to come in and fill in because I need a break. I'm finna go back to Eltar and just chill out.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I got a whole nother alpha. Like, he going to get on your nerves. He think he a rapper, but he's not. And hey, guess what? Y'all gonna be demoted because you're getting too old, and after a while, y'all gonna be trying to make your own decisions, and I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? That type of stuff. It's just, he. So they kind of did allude to him having his own agendas, but it wasn't like brought. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. Janet just said it. It was done in a kiddish way to where you just never. You just take it at face value and be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Zordon just know what he's doing, and he just knows best. Whereas this time you just look at it and be like, hey man, maybe that sucks, man. You know what I'm saying? His agendas might not go with whatever we want to be able to do, man.
Yeah, he's not as he doesn't know how to talk to the kids as effectively as
Yeah.
It was also too much training for me, man. It was too much. It was like y'all wasted 15
a lot of training.
minutes. And training.
A lot of training, dude.
I kind of like the old way where they were just nice already. They was like, yo, we need some teenagers. And like, oh, we gonna pick these 5 because 3 of them is already like world class martial artists and 2 of them know gymnastics. Let's go. Yeah. We get this popping.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yo, it took 2 hours to do what back in the day happened in 22 minutes. I was like, they need to be better economy of storytelling. Just like. I was like, this don't need to be 100 minutes. Like, I didn't need all that training. They had some good Breakfast Club bonding. They was in the campfire, and they was up in the little spot, and they was playing with the fork and the little ice cream and shit. Trini and Kim was like, yeah, look, we get nice with these hands. I was like, that's cool and all, but like, y'all got to cut that down. Like, I don't need to see them fight these ugly ass putties over and over.
You know what though? I will say this though. That type of storytelling is rampant now in media. Period. Like in comics, with that long drawn out storytelling that doesn't go anywhere. Like if you're doing if you're in a story arc in a comic now, you know that the story ain't gonna get kicking until probably issue 3 or 4. If it's a year long 12 issue miniseries, 6 issue miniseries, something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna get kicking until issue 4. You're not gonna probably meet the bad guy, or the bad guy's not gonna meet the good guy until issue maybe 3. You know this going into it because of the way that people write stories now. It's so drawn out and so long and so, it's so. Like everything has to be accounted for on the front end almost, you know what I mean? To where, they save everything until the end, and it's in every movie nowadays. Every movie nowadays is like that. Like everyone. Even the ones that are not comic book movies, they're drawn out storytelling. You know what I mean? It's a lot of, even horror movies right now, man, you don't really get to the actual horror until like the very, very end of the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Some of them they get it cracking pretty early. Some of them.
Well, you know what? I will say they do. I will say that they like they do. They'll have it's like Beats. They'll have you invested in what this movie is supposed to be. and then they'll have this real big lull time, and then all of a sudden they'll come out and then they'll come out towards the end, and then they'll have like the horror part of it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just all over the place. I don't know what you call it. What do you call it? That there's a name for that type of storytelling. I like to call it the Bendis way of doing things, but it was before Bendis, man. What kind of it's I forgot what it's called. It's just a long drawn out way of doing it, man. It's a very long drawn out way of doing stuff.
Well, they extended some of these movies too long. What did y'all think of the Zords? Because like I ain't gonna lie, I ain't like them. Like Saber-Tooth Tiger looked alright though, but
yeah,
but overall it was ugly, and you didn't even get to see him form the Megazord.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
go ahead.
The whole like formation of Megazord thing when they're trying to quote unquote hold the line and they get pushed down into the morphin grid, and then like you don't know whether just like basically all the Zords finally like kick in. It's like, oh yeah, okay, we got to get in emergency mode. Let's go ahead and form together. I'm like, oh no, I'd like to know. Okay, this is just a CG. This is a CG cheat. This is a CG cheat because we got to get from point A to point B. Because we spent an hour and 40 minutes in training and teenager drama, and so now we ain't got time. We ain't got time for all this now. We ain't got time for all this now. Let's just go ahead and let's put it together for the payoff. And so like it's frustrating. Like I like the Tyrannosaurus Rex design a little bit. Like in motion, like in a still image, it looks bad. In motion, it looks okay. Same with the pterodactyl. In motion, it looks okay. Still image, kind of bad. Saber-Tooth Tiger, Julian, I'm kind of like you. I'm like, that's all right. But the other two are awful. Yeah. Like, Mastodon and Triceratops look terrible.
Yeah.
But then again, they don't call them that. They don't call them by their dinosaur names either. Because like I said, this is their take. So like there are no like the only relation to the dinosaurs is that this like the core of it took place in the Cenozoic era. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. It's just colors. It's just colors for these kids. It's just colors. Right. So, like the only that's kind of I was like, and you see the Megazord in motion. It's like once again, it's like because once again, there's not there's a lot of like CG cheats. There's a lot of there's a lot of cheats, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful because they had $100 million budget, and like I said, you finally get to see that money. Like the last 20 minutes or so. But like even then, like that fight when the kids, when Jason and the crew go fight Rita, out at the shipyard and get their butts beat. Like all of that is dark. You can't see nobody. And like I get it. Like man, I don't expect these kids. I don't expect these like youth to be coming out here doing like uber duper martial arts or anything. But like it's all masked. You know what I mean? Right. Like it's all covered, so like I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing, so I kind of had a problem with that too. But the Zords, like I said, some of them were okay, some of them weren't. I still say Goldar was just bad, and I really don't understand. I really don't understand the purpose of relationship. And like a lot of it, and then it's like you just get to this point where they're just shoehorning stuff in. Like let me shoe in this line, make my monster grow. Let me shoehorn this in. Although I will say this though. And I did laugh when this happened, because like it was very akin to. Because I'm not trying to compare it to like the series, but it was akin to the series when Rita just was like, "Yo," when she was like, "Yeah, other people gonna come for this. You ain't gonna stop me, and I ain't going to Zordon." And this is you haven't seen the last of me. And when she jumped and like leapt at the Megazord and had her like staff with like the green coin in it, and they just slapped her in the outer space.
Yeah. Yo, Jason pimp slapping people. Was the best throw line through the whole movie. Because that means that was wild, disrespectful. Like, I don't respect you as a person. Like, I will slap the shit out of you. I was like,
That was funny. But if you really think about it, if you get slapped like that, it's like, what? You just slapped me, like for real. That was mad harsh, man.
I'm not even gonna punch you.
Wow. You hurt my feelings. Like you really hurt. That's a big dude. You hurt my feelings with that one.
Like
man.
he slapped him so hard, like his neck just like snapped, and he just like and his head just snapped back. He was like, "Did you just slap me?"
Yeah.
And then like Jason just like, look, I'm laying down the rules. He's like, yes, I slapped you, and this is how it's going to go, and this is what we're going to do, and you're going to leave this dude alone. This is my friend. You know, just
like, dang, man.
They should play some Rick Ross in that scene. Goddamn, the way he's coming across.
Yes, but yeah, when she got pimp slapped into outer space, dude, like the whole crowd laughed, and I was like, and that's something that I could kind of see happening on an episode back in the day. You know what I mean? Because it's just that ridiculous. So, but yeah, man, like I just really feel there's like a lot of wasted potential. There's wasted potential because the thing is, there's a lot of cooks. There's a lot of cooks in the kitchen, a lot of hands in the pot, and so you're sitting there watching this movie the whole time. It's like this with a lot of films nowadays. It's like, what do you want to be? Yeah. And it's like, and they're like, well, you know, when we get to the second film, we know what we're going to be. And I'm like, no.
Right.
You need to do that in the first movie.
Yeah.
You need to do that in the first movie.
Everything is built for the second film, and it's like there's a lot of for these tentpole movies like this. There's a lot of things that they have to do. You have to do this. You have to do that. And sometimes it feels like it's almost like you can sit there and you can look at it like in any tentpole movie, man, that's been come out recently, man. It just feels like you have to be able to, you know, you can sit there and be like, man, I can see them having to be able to do certain things. Like, why this? You see what I'm saying? Like there's certain things like it doesn't feel like it was naturally in the movie, you know. But they felt like, you know, well, they wrote a script and then you have to say, you know, for instance, you have to say Go Power Rangers somewhere in here. It's like, dang, where I got to put it? I guess I'll put it right here. You know what I'm saying? Just that type of thing. It's just it feels like you can actually feel those sections when you have to go in and be like, I have to do these things. You know what I mean? You know, like Make My Monster Grow. I feel like they had to put that in there somewhere. Like somebody said, look, you got to put Make My Monster Grow in there somewhere.
You know, I missed that because that's how I was out of this movie at that point.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know why. Like, why was she looking for gold when she had all the gold come out the ground? I was like, if I had all that gold in the middle of the ground, if it was a gold mine, Angel Gold, what the fuck was she looking for gold for? By the time all this started happening, I was like, why does the Megazord and Goldar look? Why are they the same? Why is Goldar like a dark, evil monster version of the Megazord? Like, I'm like, to that point, I'm like, design in Western movies is lazy as fuck.
Yeah,
I'm tired of seeing this. Like, I'm tired of a bunch of seams and suits. I'm tired of armor. Like, y'all need to hire people from other places because all these kids going to these same schools in LA to make a bunch of shit that we already seen in video games. And it's all looking the same. I'm bored. Like, I'm tired of the way Marvel people look. I'm tired of the way DC superheroes look, with the exception of Suicide Squad. I'm tired of the way most video game characters, like, all y'all people looking the same. Like y'all don't know how to design a robot? Fine. Yo, you know you can pay somebody in Japan or South Korea to design you a good-ass robot. Yeah. Like, stop playing. Like, stop fucking playing. Yeah. This shit is ugly. Like, all this is ugly right now. The suits is ugly. Like, y'all will do all right, but they ain't gonna stand out. Like, it doesn't. I was bored at that point. I was like, yo, this is the last 20 minutes of the movie. I just wanted them. They didn't even cut the goddamn monster in half. I'm like, the goddamn Megazord don't even got a sword. Like, everybody knows that this shit is, like, even when people, it's like kind of wrong, but it's true. It's like Voltron. Like, the giant robot got a giant sword. It cuts monsters in half. Like, that's the thing. Right. Like why can't we have that? Like, come on. Like, can I get some, like, just a little bit, just a little taste, little bit of sugar in this? Like, can I get a little bit more than the Go-Go Power Rangers? Like, I don't need them to say Go-Go Power Rangers. I don't need you to play a Kanye West song in the middle of the movie that was fucking tacky as hell. You could just give the fucking giant robot a giant sword and have him cut the monster in half. I don't know. I was so blown at that point. Like, I didn't even hear it. She said, "Make my monster grow." I don't even know why she put herself in the monster. Like, none of that makes. Like, why didn't she use the power coin? Why?
Yeah. That's kind of true. Like, like I caught on to this at the beginning, right? So I was expecting her to go Green Rangered out at some point.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, because at the beginning. Now, I caught on to this, and I put two and two together in my head. The reason why she never did it again was because her stuff got damaged. Because at the beginning, when that meteor hit and it blew her backwards, it blew her mask completely off her face. And she looked, when she was floating down to the bottom, she looked almost exactly like she did at the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? Did she have? Yeah, no, she had the staff at the beginning. Yeah. But she looked almost exactly like that. It blew her mask part off. And then when she actually completely formed, the mask part actually didn't form correctly on her face. That's why it was like biting into the side of her face and stuff like that, because she couldn't get it back on because it blew up. I put that two and two together just from that scene. But they never, they never came back and said, "Hey, this is the reason why." You know what I'm saying, or whatnot. Her powers are damaged, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? They never said that. I just assumed that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Because of that scene that happened at the beginning. But I was expecting, especially when she attacked Trini in her room, and she said, "Well, if you show me mine, show yours, and then I'll show my," what, I forgot what the line was, but I thought that she was going to completely morph then. You know what I mean? So it'd be like a Green Ranger versus Yellow Ranger, which I was like, okay, I can see that. That'd be really cool.
Which would be shocking for the heroes. Because at that point, they wouldn't really understand. If they saw her turn into a Power Ranger, they'd be like, bruh, like, you got a lot more explaining to do, champ. Like,
Right. You didn't say that she had our powers, you know what I mean? That type of thing. But like, okay, going back to, like, Sean's point, man, I will say that even though I found the movie enjoyable and I did like it, I did still have problems aesthetically with how things looked. Just because when when the Rangers are in motion, they look a lot better when they're in motion.
That's true.
Than when they do just standing there. And that's because you don't see all of that detail. And what you do see is just the things that you remember. The pattern of the diamonds, and the red or the blue or the color and the silver. You know what I'm saying? When you see that, it's recognizable in your head. Like in the back of your head, you're like, okay, yeah, I remember this. This looks good on a big screen. It's in high def. But when they stop and you see all the robotic stuff, that's when the problem comes in. The Zords, for me, man, I will agree with this. When the Tyrannosaurus is moving, Tyrannosaurus looks good. When it's moving, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't see it moves like a Tyrannosaurus, and it moves. It moves in a way that you don't see all of that weird, strange, alien-like detail, right? But you always saw the extra, like, it had like eight legs. Was it 8 legs on the Mastodon? It was like 6 legs or something. It was weird. It had a lot of legs. So you always saw that. So it never looked like a Mastodon. It looked more like a beetle or something like that. And then on the Triceratops, the Triceratops never looked like a Triceratops for real. It looked more like again, like a bug. Like they mixed them with bugs rather than. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of in Man of Steel. You remember how their ships look, the Kryptonian ships? Yeah. It looked like that, and they built those around beetle technology, like bugs and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like this organic, weird technology, right? And that's kind of how this looked, except it had color to it.
Fucked around with your heart, it's a struggle now. Should've never messed with your love, sugar. Now the question is, swim. Feels like I'm treading water, waiting on your call, and it's getting harder. Trying not to drown. Come on, baby. Ooh, come on, baby. Come back to me. One time for the girls that don't let just anyone rock that boat. All the ones who know that legit confidence gotta show that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying in my head, and I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't really. I can't say that I was totally. I like that, but it made it. At that point, I've seen so many different type of versions of Krypton. I was like, all right, it's just another version of Krypton. I'm going to move on. But I guess with Power Rangers, I'm like, yo, it's supposed to be 5 robots that become a bigger robot, and I don't see how they can become a bigger robot. I don't even see how they work as robots. It's like when you look at the Transformers and you look at their face, it's like how is that a face? Like, what are you guys thinking? Like, this don't work. Like, it don't work better than what. Like, they reach perfection. It's a car that turns into a robot with just a plain ass face with some light up eyes and a mouth. Like, y'all reinventing the wheel to be quote unquote cool, but nobody knows what the hell it is, so it looks stupid.
Right. And that's what I was getting ready to say too, is that the Megazord itself, right? The Megazord, when it's in the distance and it's moving, didn't look bad. The problem comes in when. Okay, so okay, it's hard to explain. Okay, so the problem comes in when you try to, in your head, put together how this thing is actually moving and working, like how it actually for real works. You know what I'm saying? Or not for real because it's not real, but how it actually. Who's controlling the head at this point? You know what I mean? It's like so. I guess Jason was controlling the head, but the way that it made it seem is that he was only controlling like up and down, side to side movements of the head. Like everybody else had to control their individual parts, right?
Yeah.
So
I guess like no one. It's almost like they couldn't make sense of the way the old one worked, even though I think it made perfect sense in the show. Like who did what.
Yes.
Well, in the show, here's the thing: is that they always had an elevator that took all of them up to the
cockpit.
head.
Yeah.
So they all had. It's almost like the Starship Enterprise at that point. There's a part, and you control your part, but at the same time, you might control the guns. You know what I'm saying? But there's always somebody that's controlling the main part of the movement of the ship. You know what I'm saying? So there's not like 5 different people and 5 different minds trying to go in 5 different directions. You know what I'm saying? So. In this, though, it was different. It was more like Voltron. But in Voltron, they make a point to say we're all connected, so that's why we can all work as a team because our brains are all linked together. In this, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
It clearly was not. They clearly weren't linked together because, remember, they tried to take a step. And
Fell down, right?
And they fell down because Zach wasn't ready. Remember, he was like, I wasn't ready. Well, that was me. That's my bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, which was funny, but at the same time, it causes a problem when you're trying to do like they did that move where it was like, dude, I'm finna, do this wrestling, Chris Benoit,
the suplex
slam,
the
suplex.
Yeah. I was like, they're gonna bring the suplex back when they were doing the training, and he's like, yo, do the suplex. They did the suplex. I was like, okay, that's cool, and I was like. Oh, no. They're going to use this again because, see, the thing is, I'm like, they got to find a way to hurry up and get this story done.
Oh,
right. Yeah, they got to hurry up and find a way to beat Goldar, and then when Rita got into Goldar, they got to hurry up because there's not going to be here comes the power sword, slice, let me turn around and pose, and there's an explosion in the back. Like, that's not going to happen. So they're like, oh, yeah, we can beat this real quick. Suplex. And I was like, yo, the suplex look cool.
UFC,
you know what I mean? Like
UFC.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, yes. But still, it's that one thing. It's like that third act is so rushed because they spent an hour and 40 minutes. Like, they spent an hour and 40 minutes, like, trying to tell so many
coming-of-age stories. It was a coming-of-age story at the beginning. And they put it together as that, and then they spent a lot of time developing that coming of age story, but not a lot of time developing the actual Ranger story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the problem.
Yeah, but and the thing is, like I said, that's why I'm just like impartial about it. Like I said, I don't hate it. I don't like. I don't love it. I'm just impartial because, like I said before, there's a lot of wasted potential on the table. You know what I mean? There's a lot of wasted potential. But there are some people like I had folks texting me about it. I saw it this weekend, and I had somebody text me and it was just like hey. In a world where we need to reach out to our youth and tell them, we need to be able to tell folks that different is okay and to just be you. He's like when that message is said, he was like, yo, that's an important message. And he was just like, and my other friend was like, yo, the importance of diversity and inclusion in these superhero movies are important. And he was like, it's, we just can't have a bunch of white dudes named Chris saving the day.
That's true, but I always say, what I like to counter is it's like, well, that's what Power Rangers always did, but y'all wasn't paying attention.
Exactly.
That is true. Yeah,
exactly. They've been doing it for like 24 years,
20 some odd years. Like at this point, the last Red Ranger and Dino Charge was an Indian dude, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, and the dude is like like a brown, like a mixed guy, and they also have like a mixed girl for the White Ranger. So like. At a certain point, like we're at the point where like having the LGBTQ Yellow Ranger and an autistic spectrum Blue Ranger, like at this point, the only person they haven't had is an actual disabled person as a Ranger.
Yeah.
And maybe somebody with like Down syndrome. I wouldn't even be like, okay, like I'm just waiting. At that point, Power Rangers will have every type of person you can think of as a Ranger, and that's just what Power Rangers does. Like you're not going to get that from a Marvel property, you know what? And you're really not going to get that from a DC property. You're going to get it from Power Rangers, and you're always going to get it from Power Rangers because that's what Power Rangers is about. Anybody can be a Power Ranger, and I'm just kind of like, y'all was slacking because y'all was dick riding Iron Man and them all these years, but like they wasn't feeding you, they wasn't giving you no nourishment.
That's right. That's right, because like in that one write-up I did for the Take the Crown newsletter, I explained thoroughly. Yo, when Power Rangers hit television-wise in 1993, they were the only superheroes on television. Live action-wise, like the only memorable live-action superheroes on television. Because like the superhero film thing wasn't that big of a deal because a couple of years later you was gonna get Batman Forever. And Batman and Robin, the film that like made Hollywood turn off superhero films for a while until Blade brought the superhero film genre back to life in '98. But the thing was that during that whole time, Power Rangers was running strong on TV. Power Rangers wasn't just a toy seller; it was a ratings hit.
And they had Big Bad Beetleborgs on, and they tried the audacity to come out with the Mystic Knights of Terra Nu on some extra. We just want to be extra. We just want to go even further. We're gonna push this as far as we can go.
Yeah, like we're not gonna use any type of toy or Japan show for this. We're just gonna make Excalibur, but with Power Rangers, but it's an Excalibur. And it's like we're gonna do this on our own. Watch, we're gonna show y'all this is gonna work. Man, there's even a period of time like didn't they do a show? Like it was kind of like 60s Batman style, but it's called Lucha Libre or something like that, or Los Luchadores.
Los Luchadores.
Yeah, they had a black guy as a knight.
Yes.
They had a black man as a. Is that my man from the freaking Jamie Foxx show? See, this is crazy. See, that's just amazing to me. They was like, yo, black people could be anything. They had a black kid in the Beetleborgs, drop kicking monsters and shit.
Man, they had young Ryan Gosling mumbling as young Hercules.
Young Hercules. Baby Goose. Young Hercules. That's my man.
So yeah, man. Like it was wild how much like Saban Entertainment was trying to get stuff out there. It was trying to get stuff out there. Let's see. I'm looking up the actors, the cast for Mystic Knights of Tyranno. No, that wasn't dude from the Jamie Foxx show. That wasn't dude from the Jamie Foxx show.
That's unfortunately. My light-skinned dudes mixed up. My bad, light-skinned dudes.
It's all right. That was a brother by the name of Justin Pierre.
Justin? Pierre.
Justin Pierre. Yeah, he's a British actor, works in theater, film, and television.
Did you know that
I'm sure.
two of the actors in this movie was Kim is British, and the Red Ranger who looks like
the Red Ranger is too.
He's Australian. He looking like a young Zac Efron. I was like, And I was watching that. I was like, you know what? Samuel L. Jackson got a damn point. I thought all these Power Rangers was Americans.
No, man. No.
Can Americans get a job? Goddamn.
Nah, man. Can't get no jobs, dude. We too busy. We too busy celebrating the what's her name, man? The old girl that was on Dr. Phil, man. if we had it our way, Dr. Phil girl would be the Pink Ranger, and she would have to say her line, man.
Oh Lord!
I didn't know she was brown either. I didn't know she was half Indian, so I looked her up.
Are you talking about the Pink Ranger?
Yeah, I was like, hey, that's something that nobody's already talked about. She's the first Indian woman to be a Pink Ranger. But
yeah, man, I don't know, man. I like I said, I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the movie for what it was. You know what I mean? Once I went into it with the idea of just like, man, this is not gonna be what I'm used to, or what I think it should be. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a reboot. I went into it with that. I didn't really think I was going to enjoy it. That might have actually held a lot to what I thought I was going to come out of there like on that Force Awakens tip. Like I was just going to come out of there and just be like, man, I don't want to even talk about it. That because after Force Awakens, I was just kind of like, man, I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. I was pretty upset after Force Awakens. It's not the fact that it was a bad movie, but the fact that of Finn really made me mad. That turn on, turn off of Finn. Hey, we finna put him out there as the main character when he was just really ended up being comedy relief. You know what I'm saying? It really just. That really turned me off. And then all of the unanswered questions that they purposely put in there for no apparent reason, man. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like, just, you can tell me how the crap Maz Kanata got Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. That is not going to change whether or not somebody enjoys the next 4 or 5 freaking movies you finna do. Only thing it's doing is just telling me in my head that I need to go out and get some kind of other ancillary little thing, either put out by Marvel or Del Rey or Disney or whoever, just to answer that question that's in the back of my head, because you ain't going to answer it in this movie when you could just say a one-liner like, Luke Skywalker gave it to me, or I found this from freaking Lando. You know what I'm saying? It could have been anything, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't. It's just little stuff like that just kind of turned me off. So I was expecting to go into Power Rangers like that, you know what I'm saying, come out of there like that. But, I actually came out of it like, okay, they did their thing to set up what they have, their thing. They set up their thing. And this movie was exactly what I thought it was, what I was thinking, happy to find out it was actually going to be, and not so bad, but it's just a setup for the second movie. Even down to like, you need to give me your power coin and come back to Zordon. You know what I'm saying? And the spoiler alert, the very last scene out of the, where they call Tommy Oliver to detention. That type of thing. So it's just this movie is a setup for the second movie. In the franchise.
Green with Evil.
So
Green with Evil the movie.
Yeah. Green with Evil the movie.
Now you heard that the cast is pushing for a they want a girl to play the Green Ranger, and I'm like, that's cool.
That could work.
That could work.
It could still be Tommy.
That would be cool, and it could still be Tommy.
That's right.
And I would say, you know what? I would even so much as say, if they really want to push the envelope, right? Because throughout this whole movie, right, Now, okay, this was me because I knew going in that Trini was gay, right? They were going to make Trini gay. Now, throughout the movie, though, you kind of, if you go back and watch it, you kind of get that feeling that Trini might have kind of like Kimberly.
Oh, kind of? Yeah, they kind of put that up like she kind of mad that like she don't be noticing.
Right.
Like she was giving them vibes, but Kim wasn't paying no attention.
Yeah, because she was like
a mean girl.
You see that one part where she was like, oh, don't we take, I forgot what was it, English together or something like that? And then she was like, yeah, no, it's biology. I've been in your biology class for like 3 years in a row. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, so Trini's been like checking her out. You know what I'm saying? And you can kind of write it off as like being like, oh, this was like, she's just a popular girl. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. Or so everybody knows who she is, just like everybody knows who Jason is. But I got it as more than that just because of how, like the ice cream thing and the thing where, you know, how they got to where. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I would go so far as say if they really want to push the envelope and really want to do something really special, they will make Tommy a girl, and they will put the relationship between, instead of being Tommy and Kimberly, it'd be between Tommy and Trini.
It could be.
I mean, I would if they really wanted to do something like that.
Triangle, Trini and Tommy for Kim instead of like what you think they would set up, which is Jason and if Tommy's a boy for Kim.
That's the easy thing. See,
like,
here's the thing. That's the easy thing, and that's the thing that when they did with the commercial, and they showed Kimberly and Jason kissing.
Yeah, I was
room.
Heated. I was heated.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah. They didn't do, and they ended up not doing that in the movie. But at the same time, that's the easy thing, right? Because what they're doing, they would set up that whole rivalry between the Red Ranger and the Green Ranger at that point. You know what I'm saying? Over a girl. Now, I would say, let's do the other way, man. Let's just keep it. Let's go somewhere that hasn't been done before. It's too easy to go that way. Story-wise, it's too easy. Everybody's expecting that. You know what I'm saying? Go the other way. You've perfectly set it up. I really don't think they meant to set something like that up, right? But you perfectly set that stuff up in the first movie. Just keep going with it. Yeah. It's and the bad part about it, here's something that you hardly never get a chance to see or hear about in movies nowadays. If they did the Trini and Tommy type of thing, and Tommy was a girl, right? If they did that, it's a natural progression of the characters. Yep. They never have natural progression of characters in this stuff, man. But if they did this, it is a straight up natural progression of the characters. It's almost like they let the characters just do what they do. You know, and that's good. That's just good writing at that point. You don't shoehorn stuff in there. You don't go in there and just put stuff in there just because you have to. It's a natural progression of where the characters are.
Yeah.
You know.
That's where they could go. If the cast was out with the Green being a girl, that could work. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, the cast is all for it. So,
and the instrument, let it have some music in it. That instrument can't play no music. I'm gonna throw a tomato at the screen. That joy, I need somebody to make new future memes from Molly Percocet. Molly Percocet.
Man, they need to. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I do want them to do though. Next, they gotta have that Go Green.
Yeah, they gotta
have that. Go Green Ranger, go.
Yeah, Green Ranger got his whole theme music.
Yeah, and then you gotta have somewhere in there where he throws a manhole cover. He just throws it, and it hits some putties.
No, it wasn't a manhole cover. It was a trash can.
Oh, trash can. Yeah, trash can cover. He throws it. Go Green Ranger, go Green Ranger, go. Go Green Ranger, go Green Ranger. Man, it got me hyped back in the day. I was in here doing kicks. I was fighting putties in my living room back in the day, man.
Well,
Man, see, I ain't never doing no podcast while I'm down here with y'all no more,
Jenny
man.
be getting out on you, fam. She be getting out on you. See, etiquette, like, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. I ride with you, Daddy. She be like, man, she be lighting up Martheus like it's showtime at the Apollo. Be trying to get the Sandman to come out.
Man, that's what I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna go back to my little private section, man.
No, but like the weekend estimates came in, and Power Rangers made like almost 41 million opening weekend.
Yeah, 59 worldwide. I saw.
Mommy don't care about nothing.
Yeah, 59 worldwide so far. It's got to make 250. They said it's got to make 250 to break even, to be profitable. 250 to be profitable. Now, granted, the toys have sold very well. The toys have sold very well, and just movie wise, if you're not counting the merchandising, they have to make 250 to be profitable film wise. But I'm sure it's close to profitable with all these damn toy sales, man.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like akin to Man of Steel. When Man of Steel dropped, like Warner Brothers is already out there saying, yeah, Man of Steel's already profitable before the film even comes out because of merchandising. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah,
If you really think about that, that is absolutely crazy. It was like, yeah, man, we just sold Superman towels, Superman soap. The only Superman things Man of Steel things that didn't sell was them damn toys. Everything else sold.
That's because them toys suck, dude.
Them toys was terrible. Them Lego, yes. Them Lego Superman Lego sold, yes. So yeah, I think it's got a good chance to easily crack 250 worldwide. It will. Yeah. It will. I mean, it's not. It's not Iron Fist. Let's just put it like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna make his money, man. It's not Iron Fist. It's gonna make his money. So and I don't think there's anything else for a time being that is coming up against it, so to say, like genre for genre right now, right?
I don't know, man. Ghost in the Shell come out Friday.
Oh, dang, that's right. Man, I don't think Ghost in the Shell gonna do it though. And the reason why is because it's got too much controversy behind it. It's got too much controversy right now.
We'll see, because the controversy is American controversy.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give a damn about this in
true.
China. They don't give a damn about this in Korea. They don't give a damn about this in Japan. They don't give a damn about this.
They don't care.
In parts of Europe or Russia or
they don't care. So
South American countries, they gonna watch this shit because that shit looks cool.
Right. It looks really good. I'm not gonna lie, man. I mean, controversy be damned, man. It looks really good, but I'm really eager to see how much that controversy gonna stop folks from going.
I don't think it's screening for critics though.
It's not.
That's bad. That's
bad.
Screening
for critics, and I don't know if it's because it's bad or because of all the controversy about Scarlett Johansson. They're just like, fuck.
No. Even if there's a controversy with Scarlett Johansson, if the film is good, they'll screen it. They'll screen it,
but I don't know if they screen it for press. At least they're not doing it here.
Right, so I mean screen it for press. That's what I'm saying. Like, they'll normally, like, if they stand behind a movie, they'll screen it for press. They will. And if they're not screening it for press, that's kind of telling, dog.
They're not doing it here. They could be in New York and LA, but they ain't doing it in DC.
Okay. How much? Okay, so how much? This is like on another question right here though. But how much of this is like there's a couple of movies that came out and they're not screening for press. It's like I think that this is me on the outside looking in because this is more of a Julian thing right here. But is it because of the unfair assumption of things like the unfair like playing field that a lot of things have to go through right now in order to be considered a success as far as like the media concern? And then is it one of those things where people just like, man, I'd rather just get this straight to the people as opposed to like having to deal with folks who have their preconceived notions of what it should be before it goes into it? Like the press before, right? Like I don't want to say press. Critics before would go see a movie and then they would sit down and talk about what that movie's merits are, as opposed to sitting down and talk about merits or demerits are, as opposed to sitting down and talking about what they actually feel like the movie should have done. Or it's not a personal account or personal reference. It's not something that they have personal stake into so much. Whereas right now, a lot of critics are not really critics. They're really fans who actually have opinions under the guise of critics that are actually giving these things, these critiques out, and they're actually hurting the actual genre. You kind of see what I'm saying? I mean, I wonder how much of that is like, dude, we're not gonna even go for that. We just want to put this movie out to the masses. We don't care what these we can't vet what these critics, who these critics are, what they're actually saying, what their credentials are. You know what I'm saying? We don't know.
The thing is, they do, but the problem of it is like some of your feelings is right, but a lot of times when a movie doesn't screen for critics, let's say like Chips that came out on Friday, right? I didn't even know Chips was coming out this Friday. It's like basically they just know that movie trash. And like it's not even worth wasting everybody's time and to have all these bad reviews to either take even further like the little bit of money they're going to get. I do think there are times when they're like legitimately good. Well, I wouldn't say legitimately good, but decent movies, and they're like, yo, like some people are not going to like this, and is it worth people shitting on this and making for some reason the tomato score mean some shit? It's gonna make that terrible tomato score. It's gonna hurt our money. So, like, I have to be honest. Like, I'm really sitting here wondering, like, you know, even though the topic is Power Rangers, like, what Warner Brothers is going to do with Justice League? Like, will it be even worth? Like, is it actually worth screening for critics? As the person that like reviews movies, right? Mm-hmm. Like, if they came out with some shit and they publicly said we're not screening this for critics, and then people going to say like, oh my god, that must be bad. If they just came out with the reasons like y'all going to shit on this anyway, right? Yeah. Like I don't know if anybody's going to have an unbiased opinion about that movie.
Right. Well, see, that's another reason. I like man, this whole weekend, man, has been like I've been going back and forth with, you know, just looking at Power Rangers reviews and looking at, you know, they dropped the Justice League official trailer and stuff like that. And I've been going back and looking at these things and just been like, you know, man, dude, I don't think it's worth it. Like I just don't think it's worth just being like, man, we need to screen this stuff for critics, man. I don't see what
this is free press. It's free press, yeah.
But you know what though? There's certain things I think we talked about. One of y'all said this. It might have been you, Julian, or Shawn. Is that at some point, bad press is just straight up bad press, man. It's like it's like, dude, like you can have all the press in the world and people be talking about it, but if it's all bad, it's negative. It's just straight negative. There's no positive spin you can put on it.
I think they learned that last year with Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman. There's a certain point where it's just like it used to be all press is good press to the point where it was like I think that kind of cost them Ben Affleck being part of Batman. Like I think we're getting to the point where there's too many fans writing
reviews.
Without like actual like I don't know what you know besides the fact that you read comic books.
Right.
Shows like you don't got no education in this shit. So why do you talk about it?
And that leads to the problem of, or the issue of, are there actual tastemakers out here now?
No, there's not. And the actual. Well, here's the thing: there are tastemakers, but the tastemakers are just fans. You can't have tastemakers being fans. I mean, to a certain degree you can, but you gotta be having these fans to be able to be the fans that can step outside of their bubble and associate outside of the fandom. If you can't associate outside of the fandom and you call yourself a tastemaker, the only thing you're gonna do is be just drawn to the same people who are angry over, you know, the fact that there's too many rivets in Flash's outfit and not about what the story is about. You see what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, you know, that's where we are right now. It's really frustrating because, okay, like you see, like people are more drawn towards being the equivalency between fandom right now and the political spectrum is just so freaking like close. I mean, there's so much divisiveness in fandom right now, just like it is in the political spectrum that I see, man. I mean, it's just like, you know, your party can do no wrong, even though they doing wrong all out the butt. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that right now, and it's the quote unquote tastemakers or the critics right now are actually just people feeding into that type of divisiveness. They're not actually coming at it with open mind or a bipartisan type of a view. You know what I'm saying? Of just right and wrong. You kind of understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, especially since I have to sit in like a room with people, a theater for 2 hours with people, and I'm looking around. I'm like, all right, the older people, like, okay, y'all been doing this for like 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, and then some people I see popping up, I'm like
who are you?
Like, I seen your blog, I know what you report on. Like, I don't know if I can, like, I don't know, like, when I sit down, if I talk about the movies, like, really, like, can I seriously talk about, like, 60s new film wave? Like, can I really talk about cinematography with you? Or are we really just going to sit down and talk about, Marvel Netflix shows for, like, 2 hours? Like, we can have a conversation about form and story structure, or, like, the use of music score or sound in the film to make a scene tense or caring or move you, or you just care about, like, Yondu's got his fist back. Like, I don't even know no more. Like, you care about Star Wars because, like, you liked all the movies, or do you actually know, like, oh, yo, back in A New Hope, he used that scene from Searchers when Luke come back in the house and he sees his people is gone. Like I really sit there and I think about this, and I'm like, and I know really for most people, they know me because it's like, oh, Julian was on Comic Geek Speak or Comic Timing, and he knows a lot about Batman comics and Grant Morrison. What does he know? But like, fam, I got a $120,000 like art degree. Like, that's how much that shit costs.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. That's the thing that I'm looking at is just who's talking. Like there's some folks that, man, it's just, I don't know. Like I wrote on Facebook, you know, just like, dude, you know, you can have your opinions and stuff like that, but at some point you got to figure out how much energy you putting into being negative, and if that stuff is worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of negativity out there, and it's negativity towards brand recognition and not the actual art form. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go and you say somebody, Marvel, thumbs up, DC, thumbs down, Warner Brothers, thumbs down, even though they didn't had a whole run of Warner Brothers, not the DC property, not the comic book properties. I'm talking about Warner Brothers.
As a film studio.
Film studio has had Googles and Oogles of freaking hits. You know what I'm saying? But if you say Warner Brothers to somebody right now, thumbs down. They can't make a good movie.
Even though Night Guys was better than all the superhero movies last year. Like,
right.
The movie,
you see what I'm saying?
With freaking Ryan Gosling and I can never remember the gladiator's name.
Are you talking about Russell Crowe?
Russell Crowe,
yeah.
Is one of the best movies I saw last year.
What is that scene?
But they trash all of a sudden.
Right. And it's just kind of like, it has everything to do with brand recognition and not the art form. It's the whole point, and like why people complain about like how and I'm sorry, it's supposed to be about Power Rangers, but it kind of is about Power Rangers. But I mean, it's like how everybody complain about how they don't like things that's happening in Marvel Comics, but they still continue to buy Marvel Comics, or how they don't like what's happening in DC Comics, but they still continue to buy the DC Comics, and they never ever expand outside because they're into brand recognition and what that brand recognition actually means, as opposed to what the art form means. You know what I'm saying? The total art form, that means IDW, Action Lab, freaking Valiant, freaking, you know, Crown Takers, freaking, you know what I mean? First Publishing. I mean, that is the spectrum of what the art form is. You know what I mean? And if you can't take into consideration the spectrum of the art form, and your spectrum of the art form only consists of what you're reading from Marvel and DC and maybe Image and maybe IDW, then you're sorely lacking. You're not helping in this conversation. And that's kind of what all of entertainment is. It goes into brand recognition as opposed to artistic form recognition. And that's the problem that I have. Sorry.
Yo, man, get it out, because I ain't gonna lie, like, you know, this is about Power Rangers, but you know, it happens that they put out that trailer yesterday for Justice League, and I watched the trailer, and let's be honest, Zack Snyder's films always have banging trailers.
Yes,
so
they
I don't
do.
even
Every
know.
time.
You can never say the trailers are bad, because I'm like, hey, you smoking rock, because his trailers are never bad. Whoever cuts together his trailers deserves awards, because them joints be like, oh yeah, that joint look fire. But now I know for me that I'm not going to really like the film because I know what he makes. But in terms of trailers, I'm like, yo, that's a banging trailer. Like, you got Aquaman chilling on the Batmobile, like, yo, let's go, let's ride on these fools. And he gets up and fights parademons. I'm like, it got parademon in it, B. You know, I'm giving this a 2-star off the street. It got fucking Fourth World shit in it.
And you can already now, and one hopeful positive thing is that it looks like Aquaman's gonna have good lines.
Brave and Bold Aquaman. Brave and Bold Aquaman.
It's Brave and Bold Aquaman, with a little bit of a hint to him, a little bit of not hint, but a little bit of I don't want to say darkness, but a little bit of edge to him.
I'll tell you what made me laugh though. I'll tell you what made me laugh though when I think it was a Flash. It was like, yo, so what's your superpower? And like Batman just looks at him and just like, I'm rich. I was like, dude, that's there you go. I was like, I'm good. I was like, I'm good. I'm good with that. But yes, no, Julian's absolutely right. Trailers, the trailers for like Zack Snyder films always look great. And you know, I've been skeptical of Zack Snyder films for the longest time. You know, I'm just hoping, like I said, once again, it's like one of those things. It's like if I feel like checking it out, I'll check it out. But like the thing is, like I'm hoping that it's good though. You know what I mean? Like I'm hoping that it's good, but like we know dude's pedigree. But that trailer looked good though. It did. It looked good. It's just I don't, like I said, but this is the thing. Like I don't obsess over this shit though.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's a movie. It's a movie in a time where we get a chance to be able to have freaking a Justice League and an Avengers movie, several Avengers movies coming out, and instead of sitting around taking for face value what these things are and saying, man, this is, you know, I'm just enjoying the time, we sitting up being like we arguing politics right now when we should be for real actually arguing politics.
Well, like my thing is that like I try to explain this to people a number of times. It's like, yo, the amount of choices you have now, as far as media goes, I'm like, you have so many choices. Whether it be film, television, especially with television, like television has become so like, you know, atomized, you know, and like it's, you know, it's to the point like it's just like super niche programming, and so there's literally tons of options. You know, streaming changed so much. Cable television also changed. Actually, cable television changed everything first. Streaming then changed everything secondly, and then that blew up everything else. So, and Julie and I have talked about this a number of times. Like, you can have a situation where now if you create a project and, if you can get a deal, if it's like either with a streaming network or with the cable network, depending on the network, you only need like 100,000, 200,000 viewers to be considered a hit, depending on that budget. So it's crazy. Like I said, the amount of choices that you have now are great. So that's why it's just like, I'm not like I said, like I saw the Justice League trailer. I was like, I'm gonna check this out. Hopefully it's good. But the thing is that like I also have the choice to not see it because man, I got all this other stuff I can watch too. You know what I mean? Right. That's the whole thing. Like there's so many choices. And it's not just like Marvel stuff. It's not just DC stuff. Like I checked out on the Marvel stuff a long time ago, and it's like I don't care. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just don't care. Now granted, like a decade ago, and Julie and I have talked about this too, and this is for like a number of reasons. But a decade ago, if you asked me that, like, yeah, man, like in 2016 or 2015, you're just going to completely check out. 2015, 2016, you'll check out for Marvel stuff and not even care. I mean, all of it, like absolutely every last bit of it, for so many reasons. And like if you said that a decade ago to me, I'd be like, man, come on, man, quit playing. But now it's just like, but it's just like, it doesn't like it. I'm like, I don't care. I got other things, and I can walk away from it and be all right with it. You know what I mean? I can be at peace with it, and I can never go back. And if I never went back to it, I'm okay. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. But yeah, like so we got choices, and it's like it's the whole Power Rangers thing. Like you have choices. Like you got this movie, you got the movie from '95, you got the Turbo sequel, you got 24 seasons. 24 seasons of Power Rangers. You got
almost all of them on Netflix.
You got almost 40 years or over 40 years of Super Sentai.
Yep.
In Japan, like
while you complaining here and there again, while you over there complaining about no Asian superstars and no Asian this and no Asian that, go check out. Instead of complaining about Danny Rand not being Asian. Go check out Power Rangers, or check out the Power Rangers TV show,
or better yet,
or Super Sentai,
or better yet, we got like years upon years of Donnie Yen films.
Donnie Yen, man,
but he's not Asian American though. He's not Asian American, so I'll succeed that people were talking about specific of Asian American, but all the Power Rangers who are Asian Americans.
Which is in
the show, the Asian American
and that's every season. It's not like it's like, oh, we gotta look at season 1 and be done with Trini. I mean, that's every season. You know what I'm saying? Every season.
My thing is right with this is like you're right, Martheus. It's like, you know what? I haven't seen the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 trailer. I didn't see the Doctor Strange trailer. I saw commercials when they came on TV before I fast forwarded through them. It's really easy if you don't rock with a company to not look at their stuff.
That's right.
So like if you really know you don't like the DC movies,
don't look at
the trailer.
Just go, man. Just don't waste your energy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, don't waste that energy. You know?
Like, I don't care about Spider-Man Homecoming, even though people keep posting that goddamn poster up and down the newsfeed all day. But you know what? I don't care. I'm not going to watch the movie. I'm not going to watch the trailer. Because I don't rock with them people.
It's like this, too. For me, with Spider-Man Homecoming, I mean, I won't go see it because I'm tired of reboots, man, on Spider-Man. Like, I know what his story is. I don't need to, unless you're going to do something like super fantastic, and that's fine. And it's not enough for me that he's swinging alongside Iron Man flying. That's just not enough for me to go see another Spider-Man movie right now. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about that poster, I like the poster. I like those series of posters that they did. Those are cool, right? But why is it that I can't? If I like that, I can't like the DC series of posters that they did, because those are cool. Mm-hmm. Design wise, they show what you're supposed to show, man.
People earning their paycheck.
Mm-hmm. Right. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like, as soon as somebody puts it, like, say, if you can go through any feed, you put that Spider-Man poster up, somebody's in there talking about posting, shitting on another poster from somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, why?
Ain't none of
Why
them
do you
got
have
no
to?
stocks in none of these companies. They fucking complaining
Right.
about who winning.
Right.
Only one person who got own stocks in that shit. And that's Jason Wood. He the only one that should be going out there talking about, man, this poster's way better than the other poster because he got money in.
He got money.
Right. Right. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And really tell you the truth, I don't want to. Like, I feel like that I'll be dumber if I understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like I'm gonna be dumber for understanding this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I just don't. You know. I just don't. You know. But back on subject, man. Power Rangers. I mean, if you had to recommend somebody to see it, would you recommend them to see it?
I would tell them watch it on home video, watch it on Netflix.
Yeah.
If you really want to go spend the money, go. But I'm gonna be like, yo, you can watch that shit in the house though. You can watch it in the house.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, some of the folks I saw with last night, this was the first time they ever dealt with like any Power Ranger stuff. Period. So, like, you know, they were walking in, like, in a completely different situation because they're removed from all of it because they've never been involved in any of it.
Yeah.
And so for some of them, it's like, yeah, man, this was cool. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, this was cool. And I'm like, all right, well, cool. You know, I'm like, hey, do you? You know, I ain't going to sit here and rain on your parade. If you enjoyed it, you enjoyed it. Like, for me, it's more of a thing like, yeah, you could wait till it come out on streaming or video and peep it that way. You know, that's really how I feel about it. It's just weird. Like I said, for all the things that I complimented the film on, there are like all these issues that I have with it, and it's just left me feeling indifferent. You know what I mean? Like, and once again, I've said it a number of times. There's just so much wasted potential. So much wasted potential. So much. And then, like I said, that doesn't mean like you can enjoy something or feel indifferent about something and still criticize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a difference between, and that's the thing I think people don't understand. There's a difference between being negative and being critical.
Yeah.
And people sometimes can't find the line between the two because they don't know the difference. So, but yeah, I just probably tell a homie, just like, yeah, just wait till it come out on video, B.
Yeah. I would have to say if you have, I'm sorry, I just pulled out some paper, man. That was pretty loud. I didn't mean for that to happen.
If Janet was right there, she cap on you right now.
She is. She just wasn't paying attention, which is good. She helping me ink some stuff right now, so she's being helpful instead of being hurtful.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say if you go, I mean, me personally, I had an enjoyable time. I mean, I thought it was a good, cool movie. I had my problems with it and stuff like that, and most of my problems stem from Most of my problems stem from being a big fan of the genre of Power Rangers and Super Sentai. So a lot of it stems from that. But like if you can go in without those trappings, I think it's built for that type of audience. But at the same time, with that being said, there's a lot of, if you're going into it looking at like serious story, there's some interesting points that they never touch on. They touch on once and they don't never touch on it again. Zordon and what his team was like beforehand, I'll really tell you true, I want to see that. I want to see what them cats were like. You know what I'm saying? Because like when the Pink Ranger was laying there dying, you know, and he took the power coin from her, and they revealed that she was an alien, I was like, dude, I want to see what these aliens about. What this race was about when they got here on Earth. And, you know, Zordon's race, you know, from Eltar, I want to see what these folks were. Why, you know, like little things like why did Rita, you know, yeah, we know that she wanted power. She craved power, that's what he said. And she always wanted more. But why did she want more? You know what I'm saying? What was it about? Who came up and seduced her to turn it on her team? You know what I'm saying? And you know, I want to know about that. You know what I mean? There's got to be other, you know, it's alluded to that these folks are like from another planet, from other, you know, another race. of people, you know, and they said that there's Zeo crystals all over on other planets as well. So if there's Zeo crystals on other planets, you know, are there Rangers on these other planets? Like those are little things that I want to be able to understand, you know, and know. And kind of from the show, I do know the answers to these. But if you're a person that you know, little things like that take you out of the story, then you probably don't want to go see this, because this is world building. You know what I'm saying? This movie is world building 101. You know, it's leaving these open questions just like that, just for you to go in and not to fill the blanks yourself, because they don't give you enough of the answer to fill the blanks in yourself. But they give you just enough to be like, dang, man, now I got to go see another movie. Or do I want to go see another movie? Stuff like that can take some people out of the experience. So if you like that, then don't go see it. But if you can take a movie for face value, you can go see it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for doing this impromptu show.
No problem, man. Hey, Theo, thanks for having us, man. You know we always down to talk about some Power Rangers and some Super Sentai.
No, that's why I was like, I gotta hit y'all up. I was sitting in that joint, and I was like, I've seen this before everybody. I'm like, yo, I got to have a conversation, a real conversation with folks who really know what the heck they talking about this Power Ranger life. Because I'm sitting here talking to people, getting my thoughts, and it's like, ain't none of y'all ain't watching no real Power Rangers, ain't none of y'all ain't seen one lick of Super Sentai, and I'm having a conversation with you about the nitty gritty of this movie. No, y'all are failing me.
You know, like still, I dug the cast. Like I thought the cast was fine.
Cast is on point.
Cast is on point.
In there. You got some future stars in there.
You do. You really do. And like I said, I want more for them. You know what I mean? Like I want more for them. So hopefully, you know, all the best for them. You know, but one thing I didn't know was like when I was listening to like all the music that was playing like after the movie, like I didn't know like that. I forgot that like Santa Gold and Vince Staples did a track together.
Yeah, when I got to the end, I was like, what? They got a Vince Staples song on the Power Rangers sound?
Yeah.
Like,
where was this?
During the end credits.
During the end credits, yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah, man. But no.
But yeah, man.
I was like, okay. So I was like, yo, y'all spend a little bit of bread. Okay. All right. Bet.
No, they spent some good money on this, man. They spent some good money on this. You know.
Yeah. I just need to get my weight up so I can go to Saab and be like, let me get Kamen Rider though.
Yeah.
Kamen Rider though.
Yes.
Dude. Does he still have the rights to Kamen Rider?
Yes, he does.
He ain't giving that up.
Could be looking at you from a freeway trailer. If you'd handled what I'd taken, separate loads, separate calls, no fine line, don't have to be a dead rat, 'cause dead rat can go wrong. Oh, we could be friends. We could be friends. Put your head on my shoulders. I'm Francis, still dreaming of a glory, something new. I can't remember what it's like to never walk